This is the Misguided Meeples podcast.
Yeah,
I've never seen a good-looking green car. I take it back. I've seen one green car in my life that has looked good.
With your hosts, Eric.
What do me and Japanese women have in common? Cold-skinned Cabana boys. Little alcohol. Know your names and research.
And Natty.
family-friendly content, without a doubt. Show me your tits. Put it in prisoner visitor bums. It'd be a lot easier. Oh, I thought people kept chickens because they wanted eggs and kind of hated themselves. I will fight you for crab eggs.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is episode 28 of the Misguided Meeples podcast, covering the bizarre and wacky news of this past week. This is the week of March 30th, 2019. I'm Eric.
And I'm Natty.
Welcome to the show. We are carried on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Podbean, YouTube. We greatly appreciate a like, a share, or a subscribe if you really like the show. And if you don't, then don't leave a review, because I only accept nice reviews. And if you do not leave me a nice review, I will throw my gun shoe at you.
He will.
I went out and got one after last week.
Well, yeah, obviously. For this bit right here.
Just for the bit, and also because it really convinced me on the gun shoe idea.
Well, it's brilliant, right?
It is.
Like, if you want to kill a cockroach and shoot yourself at the same time, there's no better tactic.
Maybe he didn't even kill the cockroach.
You might not have killed the cockroach, to be honest.
He just shot himself.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, like I said, we're recording here. We're covering the week of March 30th. First week of April. Man, it's been quite a year.
Well, it's been quite a quarter of a year.
Quite a quarter of the year so far.
Yeah. First quarter's over.
Blink and you miss it. We got WrestleMania coming up next weekend.
Ooh.
For all you wrestling fans out there. It'll be a lot of fun. You don't watch wrestling all that much, do you? No?
I like it, but I don't go out of my way.
Right. I mean, I used to like it a lot more. I don't watch it regularly anymore. I just stick with the main storylines through podcasts, basically. I don't watch much. I have other people watch it and regurgitate it to me.
Right. Yeah, I'm far more interested in the meat of the subject, not the pageantry involved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of like Christmas and Thanksgiving. I go and see the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania basically now, and select visits with Raw shows and SmackDown shows. If someone says you really should go watch this, I might watch a couple.
Oh yeah, or they're like, oh, the Gronk's going to be on it. Be like, all right, I'll go first get the Gronk. Yeah, that's fine.
I know.
Yeah.
That's a big rumor now that Gronk's retired. Is he gonna go to wrestling? Is he gonna be an actor?
I don't know. They're all talking about it.
I know. It'll be interesting to see. Yeah, that'll be on Sunday, and that'll be interesting to see if Gronk will be on the show or not. I don't think he will be, but
I don't think so either. But you won't miss him if he's there. Even by wrestler standards, he's pretty freaking big.
Yeah. Well, they got some big boys now. Got some big boys.
I mean, yeah.
Big boys.
Big boys.
I like them big. I like them chunky. Chunky. Anyways. Anyways, other than the bizarre conversations we have every week, we do have some bizarre news stories for you this week. So let's just hop right into them. We got some good ones.
We do have some good ones. All the best ones. All the best stories. But we'll start with Michigan couple says ghost seen on nanny cam scratched daughter. Just let that sink in for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So this is in Highland, Michigan, which if you're not familiar with Michigan is somewhere in Michigan. It's a video that is posing many questions. I mean, yeah, it would. Pretty much, is it real? Is any of this real? Is it legit? If it is there, can it really scratch a child? Why would it scratch a child? I mean, I could ask more. I mean,
there's a lot of questions to be answered here. Yeah, I think this is an interesting one. There's a lot of people out there who still believe in the paranormal. How do you believe in paranormal stuff?
Well, people believe the Earth is flat too. So I mean,
I feel like that's been more of like a recent thing. It's kind of
no. You go back to like old explorers. They agreed with that theory.
Well, I feel like that kind of died out for a little bit.
You're right.
And then the internet kind of decided to drudge it up.
We're coming back up out of the valley. It's starting all over again.
It's kind of like the internet just kind of like went through all these books and we're just like, oh yeah,
Wait, people thought this once, which means it's a legitimate theory.
Oh, it's a legitimate theory.
Right.
It's kind of like, the Earth is flat. Communism works.
Yeah. The sun rotates around the Earth. Duh.
Obviously.
Come on, man. We're the center of the universe. Get over it.
Of course. So, do you believe in ghosts, though?
From my experience, it seems like most people I know who believe in ghosts at some point had an encounter in which they consider a paranormal encounter. So they had something happen to them that convinced them that they are real. Or they're someone who's spiritual to begin with, and they just want to believe in that. It follows their religious beliefs, blah, blah, blah. Me? No.
Mm-hmm.
It's a long way to say no.
Yeah. It's a very long way to say no. If
I see one on a nanny cam, maybe I change my mind. But as of yet, haven't seen any evidence. When I hear something weird, it's my cat.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I can't disprove it, but I can't. I don't know. I can't prove it, so I don't really care. I don't know. It's one of those things that.
What's the very nature of it, right? I mean, like,
right. And so many of these things too. To me, it just like reeks of like the Finding Bigfoot shit, especially with like the paranormal shows that revolve around this kind of stuff.
Yeah, they don't help.
Paranormal investigators where they go in and...
in their attempt to bring attention to the ghost community, they're actually discrediting it.
Oh, 100%, yeah. 100%.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, so...
Really what we should do is be British, have sex with them, and then go on a talk show.
With the ghosts, yes.
Yeah, with the ghosts, Agreed.
Yeah. That does sound like a good idea.
It seems to have worked.
It worked for one lady. She found love that way.
She did.
Did indeed. That ghost is very lovely.
That baby's gonna be a freak, though.
Well, but it's an imaginary baby. Like, hold it. I'm holding it right now. Can't you see it?
Oh, it's so light.
No, I know.
Must be a preemie.
So a family in Highland, Michigan believes that their house is haunted, and what's even more disturbing is that whatever is haunting the home is doing harm to their little girl. Potentially, and they do have video footage caught on a nanny cam of, looks like in the dark room, shadow walks across the room and the baby like pops out of the crib and like notices the shadow. So maybe it's doctored, maybe it's not. Maybe some weird anomaly.
I mean, I think it's interesting that we're basing all these theories off the reaction of an infant, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, but I mean, apparently even the mother says that she encountered the ghost at one point.
Well, yes, but I mean, does that mean she encountered it, or does that mean she had like an inkling in the back of her head, and now it's psychosomatic?
She goes on to say later in the article that she felt like hands around her throat when she woke up one morning.
Well, see, I want to know if that happened post or pre baby monitor.
That's probably true. That's
if it's post
power of suggestion. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
you gotta wonder.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, basically they are freaking out. They live in this little house, and a team of paranormal investigators came in and tried to answer some of the couple's questions and concerns. The person says it may be someone who lived in the house before them, as the stories usually go. Obviously.
It's almost always someone who died in the house before them. Isn't that how ghosts work?
Yeah.
They don't really travel around as far as I know.
Wouldn't like ghosts be everywhere though? Because people have died all over the fucking place.
You would think, right? Or is it only if you die in a horrible way? But why does it stick around? Right. Like, oh, he died in a smelting accident down at the factory down the road. But he haunts the firehouse across town. What about these transient ghosts? Do they exist?
That's a good question.
No.
I don't know.
No, you're stuck in the house scratching babies.
Scratching babies.
Just
because you can. Yeah. I don't know. It just, always ghost stories kind of reek of power suggestion kind of stuff to me. I don't know. Feels like confirmation bias, power suggestion, low evidence,
It kind of comes off as like a herd mentality kind of thing going on there.
Usually, there's a lot of hurt involved with that too, where it's like, so sometimes they're trying to compensate because of a family member that died or something like that.
Yes, usually there's some sort of emotional scar that would lend them to think something beyond would be existent, almost as like a wishful thinking kind of thing. Not saying it's not real for all you people who want to come now and burn my apartment down. I'm just saying that, not every situation of grief involves ghosts.
100%.
I think the most interesting way is how they claim said ghost had died.
Sure. Yeah, let's go into that.
Which was suicide.
Mm-hmm.
By jumping out a window.
This window.
A 1-story window.
Yeah, so like the second floor.
Yeah.
Which in their defense of the explanation, could be possible for sure, especially if you went like head first.
Yes, if you went head first onto concrete from like 6 feet up, you might die.
You might break your neck and just snap something, yeah.
Right, so feasible, but like, I mean, I've jumped out first floor windows. I've jumped out second floor windows. I've been fine.
Well, you didn't go head first. So.
I did not go head first. No, I was actually trying to like make it.
So, hey, maybe he's just really smart about it. Like, he's just like, I know how to commit suicide. I don't have my gun around. Like, people have had guns in this country for a long time. It's like, no, I don't want my gun. I'm just going to fucking jump out the window.
People have had guns in this country since before it was a country.
Yes.
1776. Bear arms.
Bear arms.
Yeah.
Right to bear arms.
Yeah.
So yeah, the couple says for now they're staying at the home at the home in a room together with Lily until they have enough money to move. Basically, they're just like, fuck this shit.
Oh,
and
yeah.
honestly, I don't blame them. I think if I was experiencing something very similar where, there was things that were just fucking unexplained, I would be the fuck out as soon as possible.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'd get the hell out, but I don't know why they think power in numbers is going to stop a non-corporeal being. Like, this is an entity, not some bloke who's going to be like, oh, there's 3 of them? I better back off.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think staying in a room together is really going to change much if there's actually a spirit hunting you down and hurting you in your sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
Just means that you're all in one spot to hurt. It makes it easy.
Makes it really easy.
All right.
Fish in a barrel.
What a question about that. But yeah, honestly, if I would walk into my child's room and find scratches on her for no reason, and and a nanny cam didn't reveal any actual person walking in there, I'd probably leave.
Yeah. Maybe like a raccoon or something.
Yeah, either way, probably get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Just bounce now. Like, it's not worth it.
Yeah, 100%.
The house ain't that nice. People died in it.
Oh, man. Spooky, scary skeletons. Anyways. On from the paranormal to the just plain stupid.
Back to our main course kind of here. This is our standard fare.
We delved into the paranormal for a little bit. Discussed some ghosts.
Yep. That one's for you, Nikki Boyle.
And now we're on to Florida, the land of stupidity. Is that a fair assumption?
That might be generous.
That might be generous. Anyways, Florida man faked a robbery so he wouldn't have to work at Hardee's, say police.
Yep.
Yeah. So imagine being so sick of your job, you fake a robbery at your workplace just so you don't have to work. Oh, man. Desperation, man.
It's easier to quit at that point, isn't it? I mean, like
100%, right?
Yeah. Or just say you have explosive diarrhea. No one's ever going to ask you to prove it.
Prove it!
It's never going to happen. It works.
Prove it to me!
I have tested this theory. You go to a high school nurse and say you have explosive diarrhea, they send you home. They're not going to be like, oh, well, here we have a toilet here. Let's see it. Like, no, they're going to be like, oh, get the fuck out of my office.
Get the hell out of my office. Oh, my God. So, authorities say a Florida man didn't want to show up for a shift at a Hardee's restaurant, so he called 911 and reported that he had just been robbed. This happened in Dundee, Florida.
Oh, which might be like my favorite name for a place.
Dundee, Florida.
Dundee, Florida.
This is Brian Anderson, 32 years old. 32. He told dispatchers 2 gun-carrying men took his necklace, money, and his phone before jumping into a car and driving away. Sheriff's deputies went to the scene and quickly realized the robbery never happened. In a Facebook post, the agency said that Anderson confessed, adding that on the bright side, Brian didn't have to go to his 11 a.m. shift at the restaurant.
Only 11 a.m.? Come on, man.
Yeah. So he faked a robbery. He faked a robbery so he wouldn't have to go to work.
I wish they would have put what made it so obvious there had not been a robbery, but I feel like it was so obvious it wasn't even worth listening. Like, they got there and he was like half awake, still wearing the necklace. Like,
it's like they took my wallet. It's like, your wallet's right there on the counter, dude.
Can we see identification? Yeah, let me get it out my wallet.
My wallet. That would be so stupid.
It's like, but sir, we need to talk. Oh, hold on, I got a call.
Hello? Yeah, they took my phone.
Yeah, no, I don't have to go to work today. No, it's okay.
Yeah, they took my phone. So how did you call 911? Well, on my phone.
Payphone?
Payphone? I tell you, it was these two gun-carrying men came and took my necklace, my money, and my phone.
Yeah, I'm taking
scary.
Taking one good look at you. I don't think you have a nice phone. No, not nice enough to take. I don't think they're going to steal your like... Oh, come on. Like, they're going to steal your Samsung Gusto 2. Flippy.
If anything, I think that was just a cry for help, though. For real. Like, just, dude, at that point, just quit your job.
Yeah, just quit your job.
If you've gone so far to fake a robbery so you don't have to go to work, you need to quit your job and just find something else to do, because life's too short, man. Life's too short to be fucking dealing with that shit.
Because after this releases, not only will you be fired from the job you could have just quit, but now you're being charged for abusing the 911 system and lying to officers.
Which is a felonious amount of charges to have.
Yes.
And then that's going to be really hard to get a job.
Yes.
So, yeah, basically kind of a short and sweet story, but imagine being that sad.
But it's so Florida.
It's so Florida. Indeed.
It's okay, Florida. I don't hold it against you. I love you for the same reason I hate you. Because you're ridiculous.
So, from the short and the sweet in the Florida man story here to our last story that covers a little bit more bizarre things around the world. Happening. An interesting contest.
A contest that would make sense in Florida, but it's actually from a sensible place.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at them in a new light after this one. Looking at them in a very different way. I don't know if sensible is the right word anymore.
You might be right, actually. Yeah, I
mean, honestly, if human beings are involved at all, I don't think any place is really sensible. But
that's true. I mean, there might be some places slightly more sensible than others.
Certainly.
I don't know of any. I can't name them, but in theory, they may exist.
Maybe.
But at any rate, in this case, it's Belgian.
Belgian?
Yeah, like the waffle.
The Belgian waffles.
Yeah, like the Belgian waffles. The country of Belgian waffle.
Yes.
So the Belgian town of... Do they even listen to town of... Oh my god, what the hell is that? Adenkirk?
Adenkirk. Or Adenkirk. It's probably Adenkirk.
Sure.
I'm just being an asshole. Yeah.
Well, either way, Adenkirk... They host a wacky seagull screeching championship. Not just a competition, the championship.
How do you get enough people to get a tournament where you can determine a champion? Like, you need I assume there's like a certain threshold of people you need to be like, all right, these are the world champions.
Here's the bracket up on the wall. We're going to eliminate one by one. Sudden death.
Sudden death.
Seagull impressions.
Seagull impressions, baby. Yeah, so this is an interesting little contest. I mean, people are just bored, man. I think people are just bored with life.
Yeah.
This guy...
really like seagulls.
If our previous friend needed a hobby to be happy with his life, he should have just taken up seagull imitation instead of...
Exactly.
Faking...
Don't quit Hardee's. Squawk at the customers who walk in.
So yeah, basically this championship... It sounds silly, but the gull screeching champion actually has a serious goal. The idea is for a gull screeching competition. It came a couple of years ago. Many of the coastal province of West Flanders were complaining about how much of a nuisance the gulls had become, whether it was stealing sandwiches or ice cream from people's hands.
As a gull would do.
Yeah, so basically, gulls have developed a bad reputation So some of their fans have decided to come up with a way to portray the coastal birds in a fun, positive light. And that's how the Screeching Championship came to be. Okay. Other than the food, if you listed 3 things that annoy you about seagulls, I think on that list, the Screech is going to be in that top 3, if not in the top 2.
Screech might come before the food theft for me. It's irritating.
I know. We live in a coastal city and or a coastal state, and it's just seagulls fucking everywhere. They're just awful.
And they'll travel. You'll see them in places where there's no water around.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen them at the McDonald's. Route 6.
They're assholes. They're assholes. They screech a ton.
They do.
For no reason.
For no reason.
And they steal food.
Yes. And they poop on you.
And they poop a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
Just not great birds. I don't know. Not in my top 3 of birds.
So let's mimic one of their worst features to glorify this beautiful animal.
I know. Yeah, for real. So basically, we have a little bit of some sound here.
Oh yeah, you guys weren't getting out of this.
From a video, just to demonstrate how this championship's going on. So we'll react to some of the sound. Well, that's the sound that you're hearing is actually not an actual seagull. It's actually a man.
Yeah, that's a person
who is doing a seagull squawk.
Yeah,
into a microphone.
It's annoying until you realize it's kind of impressive.
It is kind of impressive. This woman is also doing a seagull screech.
I think there's some flapping involved with that one.
That's an interesting take on it. Everyone went with the screech. He went with the kind of the caw. The caw.
Yeah.
Interesting. Also in this competition, is what is going on? They're in some kind of
bar,
I assume. It looks like some kind of bar during the daytime.
Can we discuss the banana?
Yeah, they're when they're shooting this, there's a banana hanging from the ceiling. It doesn't say. I haven't seen anything.
It's good for acoustics. It's an acoustics banana. It's there to emphasize the call of the gull.
It's like an extra mic or something. But legit, this is just a banana hanging from the ceiling. It's just so stupid looking.
It's like one of those Halloween parties where they hang a donut and you have to eat it without your hands. It's a banana.
You have to unpeel the banana without using your hands.
While squawking like a gull.
Oh my god. And basically all these people get up.
Hear that? They have fans.
Oh, this woman's doing a little performance with it too. It's
she's the flapper. I knew.
Yeah, she's her call isn't as good as the other people's, but she was doing a little bit of flapping.
She makes up for it with her body language.
Yeah. So let's get some words from
the very confusing gameskeeper.
Yeah, he's someone who's in charge of helping with this contest.
Yes.
I'll do my best to add a little volume here.
Have a competition on gull screeching. So they try to.
I'm gonna go back a little bit because I'm kind of stupid. Not gonna lie to you, I'm kind of retarded. That was my favorite Alex Jones.
Kind of retarded.
It's my favorite Alex Jones of all time.
It's awesome.
Kind of retarded. All right, let's see if that added a little bit more.
Have a competition on gull screeching. So they try to make the best of imitating the sound of a gull, which sounds rather stupid, but actually it's real.
Yeah, really? Does it? You sure? Sounds totally legit to me. I mean, you said it, not me.
It sounds rather stupid. You don't say. You don't. But
you know what? At least he had the wherewithal to realize that.
He's self-aware.
Yes.
He's at least self-aware.
He's aware of his stupid competition.
He's aware about how dumb this sounds.
Real science. Before you can really imitate a gull, you have to make nice observations. Otherwise, you will never make it. And that's so nice about this event. This is a...
See, that really does make it sound tournament style, doesn't it?
I know, he's talking about it like these people are going out to beaches and like taking film of gulls, like some sound of gulls, and like playing it back on record and like trying to...
It's not even... I'm seeing some guy on a beach shouting back and forth with a seagull. The seagull's like, "Rah!" And he's like, "Rah!"
You've seen that?
No, that's what I... Actually, yes, I have, but that's not relevant.
What?
Go to Newport sometime. I've seen it.
It's crazy people, huh?
All of them.
Everyone's crazy.
Yeah, it's hysterical.
Yeah.
Just watch this guy. And he wasn't even doing bird calls. The gull was just like, "Wah, wah," and he's like, "Ah!" just shouting at him. And it's like, I don't know, some weird, like I'm the dominant, I'm the alpha seagull here.
Yeah.
Of course, He was also blitzed and holding a bottle in a paper bag, so I imagine that might play a role.
That plays a lot of role in it.
I think so.
Assume. Yeah, they're like taking film, they're taking sound, and like trying to like mimic it.
It's science. That's
they're
what he
like
said.
recording themselves and like playing the recording and then playing themselves, and it's like, do I sound enough like a seagull there?
It's like, no, I wasn't annoyed by that one. You must try harder.
It's a kind of science. It's public engagement. It's wonderful. We have points, 20 points, and 15 points are with regard to the kind of sound they make. Does it really...
What else would it be?
The point system is not very well described. You get 15 or 20 points, but don't tell you why.
You get. Wait, did you say 15 or 20 points?
He said both.
Say 50 or 20 points?
I don't know. Either way, though, he gave 2 different point values and no discrepancy as to which one you would get and why.
Just on how you sound.
Just on how you sound.
It sounds like completely arbitrary, like ice skating.
It really does.
Ice skating or gymnastics. Just like completely arbitrary based on like judges.
Yes, you get a 10 because of the flare.
Yes.
What does that mean?
What does that mean? I don't know what it
Did it
means.
resemble a gull or not? And the other 5 pounds...
Well, I mean, yeah, you need to resemble a gull.
Yeah, that's kind of the core concept, isn't it?
You need to, you know, resemble it. Or I'm going to stop.
Pound points, sorry. Deal with the performance. How they...
Oh, yeah, that's why the woman was flapping. They get points for performance.
So I have to wonder, if I am squawking on
points.
stage and then I run off stage and grab a bag of chips out of someone's hand with my mouth, does that give me points?
Oh, 100%, yeah.
You would think, right?
Food stealing, yeah.
That's above and beyond. That's what the banana's for. You gotta jack that shit.
Yeah, you gotta get it off the ceiling. The person who gets it off the ceiling gets like
feel like a gull, behave like a gull.
People are great.
Well, the best part is, can you imagine? They have to practice this shit. Can you imagine being their like neighbor in an apartment complex and just be like, "What the hell is going on up there?"
Oh man, that would suck.
Yeah, it'd be confusing, especially if you weren't like, you weren't hip to the whole seagull competition thing, which you're gonna be going on and be like, "What is going on?" But I don't know. I think it's like some weird sex thing or something.
It might like gets to the walls and it sounds like they're like banging over there.
Yeah, that's the. I got nothing. I just I can't bring myself to get the words out.
So if you live on the coast, and then you pick up the seagull screaming, yourself.
Wait. His logic was, if you live on the coast, you pick up seagull screaming. I lived on the coast. I could see the ocean from my parents' home, and I never picked up seagull screaming.
You didn't?
No.
Why not?
Because I imitated the snails instead. They're way easier.
Oh, that's great.
Something like this?
Observation.
The honking one that got me.
Well, I mean, the next guy in this video is definitely a visual. His costume looks like he's like...
Oh my god.
It looks like he is going for a seagull, but he looks much more like the snowman from Frozen.
He really does. Like, that doesn't look like a beak. That looks like a carrot.
Yeah.
Écoute, aller à la mer du Nord. Et là, j'ai trouvé que
C'était plutôt sympa de faire le cri de la mouette. Et en faisant le cri de la mouette, les mouettes m'ont
I don't know
répondu.
what he's saying.
Seagulls don't talk. That is not the sound I was expecting.
Oh my god! I went back. No.
That man did not look like
C'était plutôt sympa de faire le cri de la mouette. Et en faisant le cri de la mouette, les mouettes m'ont répondu. Bizarrement.
Here it is.
I really enjoy the sound of a seagull, so I want to create it for myself, so I practice a little.
Who enjoys the sound of a seagull?
Oh, so soothing.
It's so dumb. If you even like a meditative tape, like they put sounds of the ocean in like meditative tapes.
Yeah.
I've never once heard a seagull on one of those tapes.
No, you don't want to turn on the tape. It's like, "Rah, rah."
No, I hear like the sound of the ocean, and there's some waves crashing, maybe a little bit of a wind. I don't hear.
You're good.
I'm not good. No, it's bad. I like
A
the
little bit,
sound.
and yeah, it's a really fun sound, but it's also a difficult sound to create.
Oh, it's a different.
I think it's probably
good.
She was good.
held in a funny purpose, but I think some people here are very serious about it.
She sounds insane.
Oh, she is. You can tell that she lives alone with her 6 cats.
And just spends her days mimicking bird calls.
While her cats attack her because she sounds like a bird.
Oh man.
Ready, lads!
Okay, that's some medals. Were those the only 3 people that actually did stuff other than the other lady?
Well, we all know the guy with the striped shirt's going to win.
No,
That guy was
he
that
was
guy was a
definitely
fucking
the
pro.
best. Yeah, there's not much more here, but oh my god,
That looks like a call. I don't know.
So yeah, they're trying to get more people interested for next year. So if you're interested, and you can, you can go to Belgium.
Yeah. You can also seek mental help.
You can seek mental help, or you can practice your gull calls and go to Belgium next year. They're hoping for doing the next year. Good on them. But
okay,
not
guys.
an animal that I would call.
No, but what we need to do, guys, get us a sponsor, and we will go to Belgium next year, and we will do it live at the Seagull Gull competition.
That would be great.
Right?
Like on-site weird news.
Like, here we are with the gull competition. So, would you give us a sample? Oh, of course.
Would you give us a sample?
Sample of your beautiful art.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Oh, man. Great.
I don't think there's a prize either. There's points. I don't think you get anything but the pride of being the best seagull in
Right.
Denman.
Like any great sport, it always starts out for the glory, and then the money comes in once people get good enough and there's enough sponsors and exposure.
Right. So once it gets big, you'll get like a bag full of white bread that's kind of stale. And then, a half-eaten sandwich. Like all the good shit.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
It's going to make any gull.
I would do it.
Right.
Sounds lit.
Just peck that shit off the ground. It's perfect.
I gotta work on mine.
Yeah, you're a sickly seagull.
Yes. But anyways, let's start wrapping things up here. Any final thoughts on our stories today before we wrap it up?
I like the name Dundee. Because I'm a child.
Sure. Makes sense. Dundee, Florida.
It sounds great.
It's like a fun little town.
There you go, Florida. You have created something I enjoy.
Well, if we created something you enjoy, feel free to give us a like, a share, or a subscribe wherever you listen to us. We would greatly appreciate the nice words or constructive criticism or
your impression of seagulls.
rating or, seagull impressions.
Your best gull impression, yes.
Best gull impressions. That sounds great too. If you'd like to join our conversation, email us at misguidedmeeplespodcast@gmail.com or tweet us at misguidedmeeple. Thank you so much for joining our conversation this week, and we'll talk to you all next week.
Bye.
The music in our intro is Retro Future Clean, and the outro music you hear now is called Breakdown.
Both tracks were done by Kevin MacLeod at incomtech.com. If you would like to get in contact with the show, our email address is misguidedmeeplespodcast@gmail.com.
On Twitter, we are at misguidedmeeple. Follow us for show news and links to all the crazy news stories we covered in this week's episode.
And maybe even some bonus ones we didn't cover.
Gotta follow us to find out.